yummy noodles and ooey gooey cheese and crispy juicy popcorn nuggets. Oh, can't even make it to the part about the cookie and the Pepsi. Just try my new mac and cheese bowl $5 Phillips at KFC. It's finger licking good. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary.
Yeah.
The home of Philadelphia Eagles football.
Nick, we should be up, Nick.
JHD, Millville, Atlantic City, 97.3 ESPN.
The following program is paid for, and the opinions expressed are not those of Town Square Media or station advertisers.
This is the Thursday night
we need him here.
Countdown to kickoff.
Mr. Monday Night is here at no additional charge to
I
you.
don't understand
Tony
where
Bruno
the fuck
and
he
Harry
is.
Mays on 97.3 ESPN.
Can you hear us?
And the mobile app.
Does he have
Nick,
From
we're on. Let's go.
King of Prussia, it's Bruno and Mays.
I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it.
Featuring Eagles and NFL insider John McMullen, Colin Thompson, and the self-proclaimed
11-17.
king of the coaching
11-17.
world, Henry Racich. Presented by Body Check Wellness, powered by Davios, and fueled by the IBEW Local 98. Now, the countdown to kickoff
Let's play some damn football.
with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays.
Go time.
You are looking live at a chilly, dark October night, October 4th to be exact. We are at Screwballs. Balls is the word tonight. Is it the 3rd or the 4th?
October 3rd or 4th?
Today's the 3rd. That's right. Today's the 3rd. Why did I write October 4th down?
Because you're a visionary man ahead of your time.
I will be able to tell you what happens already tomorrow tonight. That's how far ahead we are on this show. Tony Bruno, Harry Mays not with us tonight, but we do have the great Coach Henry Racich in here. Feeling better because the stinking Steelers beat the absolutely dreadful Cincinnati Bengals the other night.
Yes, a
in
win's a win.
game that the tape of that game will be burnt and never be seen again, especially in Cincinnati. Man, are they a bad, bad team, Coach.
They really are a bad team. I mean, I love that we got a win finally, and I have to take it how you get it, but they are really a bad team.
We got Joe Krause here. Joe, are you ready? Because we have some people tonight that have won chairs. Now, we don't normally give away chairs on this show. This isn't a furniture store here.
Unbelievable. Last week, of course, at Screwballs, Tony, we gave away 2 chairs at the end of the broadcast here at Screwballs. It took about 64 minutes to get through that that entire process. We also had one winner pick up a pair of tickets to go to the Eagles-Jets game on Sunday, so they'll get to enjoy that game on Sunday down at the link in great seats. Of course, our season ticket winner, our season ticket, Eagles season ticket winner from over at the Landmark, Don Amon, he will be in the house at every game.
That's correct.
At the link. And tonight, our chair winners are back in house. And Tony, at the end of the show, the chair winners are going to have to make a decision.
Oh, I love when we do that.
Do they hold on to the chair and wait to see what's at the bottom of the rainbow? Or do they cash out tonight? We'll do that at the end of the broadcast.
And last week, we had a gentleman who had a choice to keep the chair or go for the New England Patriots Eagles tickets on November 17th, right before Thanksgiving. The Patriots are here. And the guy took the Patriots tickets. That gentleman, I believe he's a firefighter, right?
And he's here, Andrew, and he's back in house.
He's in the house. He's at the bar. He's ready.
He cashed in the chair for the Pats tickets, as you said, on the 17th. What will the chair winners do in all of the years that we've done the Countdown to Kickoff show, in all of the massive giveaways that the radio stations have done over time? And, Tony, you've done so many of them. Have you ever given away 2 chairs at the bar?
The last time I gave away a chair was at Raiderford when they were executing the last back in 1973. I think the last time Pennsylvania executed somebody on death row. So this is the most excitement I've had over a chair since then, because we don't use the chair anymore.
No.
I think a lot of people would prefer that we do go back to the chair, but that's another issue for another show. This is a sports show. You ready now? Miss Robbins here.
I'm ready.
Nick is here. Miss Robbins here. Our Twitch audience is here. The gang's gathered together. You know who's going to join us tonight? John McMullen's going to join us. Philly insider, Eagles insider. We'll get the latest on what's going on. A lot of talk about, who's going to play secondary on Sunday afternoon when the Eagles go out there. They're bringing guys back in. Orlando Scandrick sitting at home, watching the games at home. They picked up a couple of guys on the practice squad this week. And so now, and the other question, and we'll talk about this tonight too, guys, is Sidney Jones. Sidney Jones, you remember a couple years ago, the Eagles got him with the 42nd pick, second round, sitting there, first round talent, but because he had an Achilles injury, he slipped, and the Eagles said, let's take him like the Sixers did, with Joel Embiid. Now, I'm not comparing the two as far as talent as franchise guys, but when you take a guy like Sidney Jones, who was supposed to be a superstar defensive back, and he was in college, but then he got hurt, so the Eagles figured they'd take him, let him sit a year and get healthy, and then bring him into play, and hopefully he becomes the next great defensive back of the future for this team. And unfortunately, it hasn't worked out for him. This is a guy who now in 22 games since the 2018 season, he's only played in 9 of them.
Wow.
And he's gotten hurt in 4 of them, and he's never played more than 5 straight games without getting hurt. And now his injuries are not the Achilles, fortunately, but they're all hamstrings. So he keeps getting a hamstring injury, and then he goes off, he takes a game off the heel, and comes back and gets hurt again. It's just unbelievable what this guy's going through. And we always hear this, and you know this, Henry. We hear it all the time. Is he a guy injury prone? They hear this about Carson Wentz because of the injury. Is he injury prone? Well, you're not injury. If you get hit and you keep getting hurt, that's not injury prone. That's being injured. But if you keep getting a hamstring, if you keep getting hamstring pulls and you're not being hit as a result, is that injury prone? Because the hamstring is tough. I mean, you know this. You get a hamstring injury, it takes a while for that to heal.
A long while for that to heal. And if they're rushing him back, that may be an issue. But some of these guys really don't take care of their body the way you think that a $1 million athlete would. I know some pro athletes that regularly eat fast food. Mm-hmm. One guy walked in the gym with a McDonald's bag. I said, "Are you kidding me right now?" One of the fastest guys in the NFL at the time.
You weren't loving it though when you
I was
walked
not
in.
loving
Okay.
it. No, I was not loving it.
Did he have some fries with that though?
He
That's
had
what
some fries twice because they came up in the workout. But a guy like that, there's some luck. There's maybe he's not taking care of his body as well as he could be.
Yeah, but taking care, does that really affect the hamstring though? I know you.
I mean, it could. I mean, you try to get a pro athlete to go take a yoga class and tell them it's really good for your flexibility. It's hard to make them do that. So, yeah.
No, I agree with you there.
Right.
Flexibility is a key.
Right.
But when you're you have medical staffs. This is the NFL. This isn't like a high school team.
Right.
Where, if you're lucky, if you got a guy whose dad's a doctor who knows somebody who comes over and takes a look at the team. You've got medical staffs. You've got doctors. You've got trainers. I mean, you've got everything. You've got all the facilities. You've got the tubs. You've got the rubs. You've got the scrubs. Everything you need.
Yeah, everything.
The rubs, the scrubs, the hot tubs. Anything you need. So
rap, you're like a rapper.
Got a rapper. Hey, I'm going to do a diss track with Shaq and Damian Lillard. I'm going to join the whole rap battle. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff coming up. Mr. Thursday Night, who is undefeated. Mr. Monday Night, by the way, has been as bad as the Cincinnati Bengals. The last 2 Monday nights, I gave you the under. Everybody jumped on the over. I gave you the under, but I had the Bengals. So I've lost my last 2 Monday night games. But Thursday night, that's a different story. 5-0 right now.
Wow.
And I will release my guaranteed Stone Cold Thursday night lock on this program. And I'll even tell you where you can go and get it. You don't have to call a 900 number or anything. In fact, I have it posted right now. So if you want to go and see the pick now, it's already marinated and it's been released. It's now being served. When you marinate a nice chicken breast and then you're ready to put it on the grill and then you put it on there and you hear the sear. And then you turn it, and you see the sear marks on it.
Ferment.
This pick has now been seared and cooked to perfection. First of all, go to my website, TonyBrunoShow.com, and then click on the top where it says Tony's Pick. And then it'll take you to the pick on thepropsnetwork.com. You don't have to do it right now. But while you're watching and listening to the show, we got baseball, we got football, we got screwballs. What else can you get on a Thursday night at this hour, at this kind of price, which is absolutely nothing?
You could get a chair, maybe.
Get a chair. You could be one of the chairs. Now, the chairs are not in place yet, right, John?
No, I didn't put them in place yet. I'll move them into place when we move into hour number 2, and then we'll start to prepare. We'll start to get ready.
Now, will Nick be involved with the chair dances tonight? They're not chair dances, right?
Go ahead, Nick.
Nick's will not be involved in the chairs.
No, Nick doesn't work. Nick is not as involved at Screwballs as he is at the Landmark on Monday nights. He's very different approach on Thursday night versus Monday night.
Joe, I have an idea for the chairs. I'm going to run it by you real fast.
All right.
Can we call the chairs Thrones and then call it the Game of Thrones?
Oh, well, now
you have some Game of Thrones references in your.
Actually, now that you come up with that, I got only one thing to say to you, Coach.
Stick to football.
Shame. Shame.
What a perfect
Shame.
segue.
If we called it Game of Thrones, we would have
would
like
get sued,
people
right?
breaking in with battering
It would be
rams
awesome
to get in
It
here.
would
and
change the whole demographic.
they'd come in here and they'd say, "How dare you?"
What a great series. Fortunate that you didn't see it.
Is that Game of Thrones music?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I thought we were going to break. I said, we're really breaking early.
No, that's it.
I know. I watched the last episode. I never watched the show, but I watched the last episode so I can say that I'm as disappointed in the show as everybody else was, and I didn't have to spend 7 years watching it.
No, they rushed the
That's
end.
the best part.
Right.
I was equally disappointed even though I didn't have to watch
Seinfeld.
the first 5 episodes or the first 5 years of this garbage.
It was good stuff.
Sorry. I like movies
It
about
wasn't
gladiators.
better ending than MASH. MASH had a great ending.
Yeah, MASH is one of the, well, a lot of shows have bad endings. Seinfeld was bad, Sopranos, all these shows. This show doesn't have an ending, so we don't know how it's going to end.
We're in the future right now.
We just need to get there.
It's October 4th right now, so
Yeah.
we're already ahead of our time.
I actually wrote October 4th early this morning on this piece of paper. And I went through the entire day not knowing what day it was, other than Thursday.
I do it all the time.
I knew we had to come to Screwballs as soon as we did an earlier show and jumped in the car and drove on up here. But we got a lot of stuff today.
Here's what I'm trying to figure
Yes.
out going into the game on Sunday. Is there any possible way at all, I mean, any conceivable way at all, that the Eagles would struggle against the Jets? I'm not going to say lose the game because there's no possible way that they're going to lose against
The
a
Jets.
bad football team.
No.
You wouldn't think. Now, Le'Veon Bell is there, obviously, but the Eagles stopped the run against
Not enough,
everybody.
yeah.
The Eagles stop all running games. So I don't think the Jets, I mean, if Le'Veon Bell runs on this defense, then the Eagles are in trouble, and then they have a chance to lose. And now I saw earlier today, and we'll talk with John McMullen, because I saw video from the Jets training facility, actually in the bubble they were working today, and guess who was on the field? Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was on the field making some throws. So does that mean he's going to play? No, but it means that he's getting closer from the mono that has shut him down for the last couple of weeks. If he does play, is that going to make a big difference?
Mono is what? What is mono?
It used to be a kissing disease. When I was growing up, when you heard about, hey, so-and-so's got mono, it was from kissing, right?
Right.
Everybody knew. But I asked Robin about it. I said, mono,
Kissing,
isn't
yep.
that the kissing disease?
Yep.
But how does it affect your spleen if you're making out with somebody? Because it's an infection in the spleen. Everybody here is made out, right?
Right.
Is it safe to assume that everybody here is made out with somebody at least once in their life?
At least.
Except the children in the back there. I don't expect them to have made out by now. They're too young. Did you ever think, and you heard this when you were younger, you know, if you kiss too much, if you really get into passionate kissing in the backseat of a car and then you stop, you can get mono. You know what I'm saying? Didn't you hear that growing up?
Yeah,
Mono was about,
mono was the
Whenever you
kissing
heard
disease.
mono, they hooked up with someone.
Exactly.
That's what you're thinking.
So is that still how it's transmitted? I don't know.
I
I
haven't
mean,
even heard of anybody with mono
So
in
here's the deal,
such a
guys.
long
It can
time.
be transmitted that way.
it
but
can
the
be,
way it
but it's
works
not
is
all the
that
time, right?
It's a virus.
Right.
Mononucleosis is a virus.
I
and what
know-
it does is it attacks white blood cells.
I know that, man. I've never had it, but I'm just talking about when people heard mono back in the day, first thing they thought about was kissing. It's a kissing disease, right?
Right away.
But I know it's a virus, but how did he get it? Because, the jokes were, well, he played at USC, so there's a lot of, out at USC, a lot of song girls, the dance teams. There's a lot of hot women out there. It happened to me. I went out there. I was exposed to all that stuff. Even if you don't
didn't
want
get
it.
mono, though? Right?
I didn't get mono. I got stereo when I was out there.
Right.
I got stereo, so I was much safer.
But is it a 4 week, a 6 week, an 8 week?
There's only one person who has the answer to that.
To recover from that?
Not just Josh back in the studio, where he came up with the viral implications of it. John McMullen will understand. He will break down mono and this Eagles-Jets game coming up. We'll also talk about, for the second consecutive Thursday, we have a pretty good game, at least on paper. right? Last week, the Eagles-Packer game turned out to be great. And tonight you got Seattle and the Rams, two damn good teams.
I think the Thursday night games are looking better than the Monday night games.
Absolutely. People were complaining about the Thursday night games. Oh, they're terrible. They just played on Sunday.
Well, they have been.
But they've been
until this
better
year.
than the Monday night farces.
Yeah,
anyway,
listen.
We'll explore. Still ahead, we're live here at Screwballs in King of Prussia. It's Thursday night. Mr. Thursday Night is here, the whole gang on 97.3 ESPN and live on twitch.tv, BrunoNation Live.
Hour number 1 of Thursday Night Football Countdown to Kickoff show is being fueled by Dunkin'. After the Eagles win, you win with Dunkin'.
This is the radio home of Philadelphia Eagles football. This Sunday.
Wait a minute, I can't hear now.
Hey, people.
During this show.
How's our Twitch people?
I can't see them on here. Are we on?
Yes, we are on.
Okay.
We are definitely on.
Yeah, my throne is a bidet, actually, in my basement in my house. I have a bidet.
You
I
do?
got it. Yeah, it's got water, it washes.
It does everything but blow you. Oh, no, wait. It actually does.
My buddy has a toilet that does that.
This is the greatest invention ever, really. We talked about it all the time on the
Seat
show.
warmers.
Yeah, you sit on the seat.
It electrically goes up and down.
No,
it doesn't go up and down.
That's what his does.
But
Robin, your mic's way too hot, though. You're not a little lower there.
It shoots water and then dries it and
Yep.
everything
Yeah.
else, right?
So you sit on it, and as soon as you sit on it, it's connected to the water supply.
Right.
And it's powered, and so you got a remote control. So when you sit down, you can feel the seat starts filling up with water.
Oh, wow.
And then it sets to the temperature. You can have it cool, warm, hot. And then you can also
that's pretty
set
advanced.
the sprayer. So you have a sprayer that does the front or the back. And then it's got a movable sprayer. And then it has a blower that blows you dry.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. It's the greatest thing ever.
It's like the Jetsons.
It really is.
The only upgrade that there is that we did not get because we thought that was a pretty ridiculous is that there is also an option for one to play music. So it will drown out the noises that you are supposedly making. We thought,
That's hysterical. And what songs would work well in that situation?
I think it's like an MP3 kind of thing where or something that
It's like
just
those
tunes
showers.
it. I
It's
don't
like
know.
poop songs.
It's like those shower things you put on the Bluetooth things you
Right.
stick on the
Have
wall.
you ever been to Japan?
No, China.
In Japan, they have these in almost every single hotel.
yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I know. The Japanese take their bathroom
Their
hygiene
hygiene,
very
right.
serious.
What song?
Oh, Play Action Real is asking if we have a name for her yet.
For the bidet?
No, we have not named her yet. That's a great
You don't
idea.
name a bidet.
Sure you do. She makes you happy. You should have a
Well,
name for her.
I love when she blows me, though, so I mean, it's got to be.
See, there you
It's gotta
go.
say something.
Backstreet Betty. What's this girl's name?
Betty sounds like an old lady.
Yeah, I don't
Backstreet
want Betty.
Betty.
I don't want
No.
Betty
What's this
washing
girl's
my.
name? Maitland?
I don't want Yeah, that's the girl I want to have in my bathroom.
So Maitland.
Maitland Ward.
Maitland? No.
No,
Is it a caller?
Maitland.
The bidet doesn't. She doesn't seem like a Maitland.
Is this going all over the whole house when I'm talking? Okay.
I have no idea. It should be.
I want all of our Twitch followers to look up Maitland Ward, Maitland Ward. She was on Boy Meets World,
Correct.
and now she's gone from Boy Meets World to Boy Meets World meets Girl who meets porn. She is doing porn now, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want any children out there to notice this, and you can't see the porn because it's not. There's no nudity or anything on the preview.
The only thing that's sad is that normally this means if a quote unquote, I put this in parentheses, legit actor or actress
You don't
starts
think,
doing porn, that means that they are not able to make money any other way.
Have you seen the previews for this series?
No. No, I have not.
91.6. Tony's bidet has the same name as Hank Baskett's side piece. Remember Hank Baskett, the Eagle wide receiver?
Yes.
And of course, his side piece, I think, was a dude, wasn't it?
No. Was
What
it?
was his side
Really?
piece? Remember, he was married.
To the gal that you always have the laugh
Yeah,
on.
with Kendra.
Kendra.
Remember Kendra?
Yeah.
Kendra.
Hank Basket was
He was married.
bisexual?
No, I think he just. After Kendra would laugh, she would drive you crazy.
Are we
Is
coming
that what
back?
that laugh was?
Are we coming back?
How much time
Josh,
do we have there,
John
Josh?
out there? With John McMullen.
Tony Bruno, I'll see you on game day at Toll Man Joe's.
You're listening to the Thursday Night Football Countdown to Kickoff show with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays. Presented by
got
Body
McMullen
Check
on hold.
Wellness. Powered by Davio's Steakhouse.
What is that, Josh?
And fueled by IBEW Local 98.
John's on
John
hold.
Dougherty,
Thank
Business
you.
Manager.
Is he on hold?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's on hold.
Live here, Screwballs, Thursday night. Got baseball. Braves up 1-0 over the St. Louis Cardinals, the first of the divisional rounds. And they're in the fourth inning now. Football starts at 8:20. A couple of baseball games tonight. We're keeping an eye on the Gabe Watch also down at Citizens Bank Park.
Nothing's happening there. Nothing's happening with Gabe.
I made a prediction. They will, Gabe Kapler, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. there will be a news. This is a prediction. This isn't fact. I don't want to run with stories that are make-believe. Well, we'll get to this in a little while because I have the whole thing broken down on what happens tomorrow with the Phillies. But let's get to a man who knows what's happening every day with the Philadelphia Eagles. And he also, I noticed on Twitter, was watching the AWE wrestling last night with my man, JR's Barbecue, the big Jim Ross. John McMullen joins us, Eagle Insider and Wrestling Insider as well. John, how are you tonight?
Hey, Tony, how are you?
What
JR's AEW wrestling, though.
Exactly
No
right. I
longer
actually watched some of
WWE.
that. I was watching that one where everybody's running in, and there's a guy with a guy who's in a three-piece suit, and he's getting knocked around, and then of course, you know the rest. It was pretty wild. I liked it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be more sports-centric. I didn't see that, though.
It had a better plot line than Monday Night Football. Let me just say that. It was more coherent
Well, that's true.
than Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. All right, John, let's get to the Eagles because we all know that the defensive back situation is a mess. They may not even have enough guys to go out there and play. But now the Jets, I saw earlier today, I saw Mr. Mononucleosis himself, Sam Darnold, inside the practice bubble, throwing the football. What are you hearing about the possibility? I know they said he wasn't cleared for contact, but then the Eagles' defensive line hasn't been cleared for contact either, though, the last couple of weeks, unfortunately.
That's a low blow. Yeah, I mean, Sam thinks he can play. Sam thinks he's ready to play, but he hasn't been cleared, so you have to be cleared for contact, even against the Eagles' defensive line. In case they brush up against you by mistake. He's got an enlarged spleen, and that's a difficult thing to go on a football field with. So we'll see. It's probably I can't imagine they would put him out there, push him out there to play in this type of situation. You're talking about maybe 15-point loss with Sam Darnold, a weakened Sam Darnold versus a 20-point loss with Luke Falk. So, I mean, the Eagles have so many issues, as you mentioned, at corner. Luckily, they're facing the 32nd ranked passing offense in the NFL. So if you're going to have those problems, this is the week to have.
Yeah, and they're obviously going to put the pressure on whoever the quarterback is because that's the only way because they'll stop Le'Veon Bell, you would think, because they're good at stopping runs. But now all of a sudden you put whoever the quarterback is under pressure where he has to throw every down, it could get ugly. As bad as the Eagles' secondary is, it could still get ugly.
Yeah, and especially it's very difficult to play at Lincoln Financial Field. We all understand that. The Eagles' pressure, to be honest, hasn't been that bad. You look at the advanced numbers, their pressure rate is top 10 in the league. They just haven't been able to finish.
Correct.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the cornerbacks because if you think about how it is in the NFL is basically the corners have to take away the quarterback's first read. And if they do that and they have to move along to the second or third read, takes more time, allows the pass rush to get home. Eagles corners have been so bad, with the exception of Rasul Douglas, most quarterbacks don't have to get past their first read. And maybe that'll be an issue down the road until Avonte Maddox gets healthy and Ronald Darby gets healthy, Jalen Mills gets back, Ravon LeBlanc, all the guys on the sideline. But this week, I don't think it's going to matter. I think they could throw out Tony Bruno and Joe Krause and John McMullen, and
don't forget Coach Henry Racich here. This is a man who's played football, who coaches football at every level, from Pee-wee all the way up to professionals.
And is 5'8" and could never play corner.
Exactly.
The coach, I should have put the coach first because he's going to understand the technique and the coverage. So,
right.
Yeah, he'll probably be a strength against that Jets passing offense.
Absolutely. And he's a Steeler fan, so he saw the Steelers win a game the other night, so he's calm now. He's not panicking like he was last week.
No, we're back. We're in the run for 7 all of a sudden. All of a sudden, we're in the run for our 7th now. That's all it took for us. Now, but John, how critical do you think it was that the Eagles finally got that running game going? I mean, what pressure did that take off of our starting quarterback then, or your starting quarterback?
Well, I think it was a logical place to get it going. I mean, Green Bay, even with their good defensive numbers, was struggling to defend the run coming into that game. So I don't think the Packers defend the run all that well, so it was logical to get it started there. And it's very helpful, especially on the road, where Carson doesn't have to do everything. I don't think it's going to be consistent, though. I really don't. I just don't think that's one of the strengths of this Eagles team. So I think it's going to be up and down for most of the year, depending on the opponent. And there's even good news there from a Jets perspective because the Jets defense isn't bad on paper, and there's some talented people, especially in the front seven. But C.J. Mosley is not going to play, still dealing with a groin injury. Quinnen Williams has been out as well, and we'll see where he is. But so it's not as good as it could be to face that Jets defense, which is certainly the strength of that team. And hopefully Miles Sanders has built up a little confidence, and the Eagles have figured out that, hey, they can use Jordan Howard.
Now, I was talking about this earlier at the beginning of the show, and obviously we've talked about this a lot. Not as much probably as most people notice, but you notice it now because of the lack of bodies, is Sidney Jones. And, this guy, they took a chance on him. They fell into their laps in the second round. He was first-round talent, but because of the Achilles injury, the Eagles picked him and figured they'd sit on him for a year. And now when you look at the numbers, and the guy just can't stay healthy, especially then they're all hamstring injuries, John. And I know Doug Brent mentioned it today. He said he wasn't worried about it. But when you look at him, the fact that it's always hamstring after hamstring, he comes back. Are they rushing him back too fast, or is it just there's just something wrong with this guy where he can't stay healthy?
Well, I mean, the original injury was an Achilles, so that was the serious one that kind of redshirted his rookie season. Now,
exactly.
Now, I don't want to make accusations here, but you look at Ronald Darby, he's out with a hamstring injury. He's going to be out for a month. He's in the middle of that. Sidney left last week in Green Bay after 10 plays with a hamstring injuries back at practice already. So that tells you, hey, it wasn't serious. And there are some whispers that, hey, he gets these soft tissue injuries after he gets beaten on the field. So I think you're talking about a guy who isn't playing with a lot of confidence right now, and that means a lot. And I think all you have to do is look at the other side and Rasul Douglas, who doesn't have that same kind of pedigree, and people look at him as a zone corner and somebody who struggles with deep speed. But, hey, he studies. He knows the film. He understands the routes. He understands what's going on in front of him. And he's playing with confidence, and he's playing well. I think Sidney's having trouble understanding what he's supposed to do, understanding the technique, and he's losing confidence because of it.
Because we've heard a lot of different organizations being the Eagles medical staff and the Sixers medical staff, and people are now blaming medical staffs and training staffs for the injuries that we're seeing on a lot of these teams. Do you buy into that at all?
No. And I've had this discussion with Jeff McClain, and look, I get it because I think the bigger issue, and you bring up the Sixers, I think that's a good point as well. because even more so with them, the issue is messaging. I mean, if you go look at the Eagles medical staff, and anybody can check it out online, and look at the resumes, they're pretty impressive. I think they know how to deal with a hamstring injury. So the issue becomes with, are the Eagles being above board? No, they're not. Darren Sproles would have been the perfect example of that. And that makes fans question. They say, well, why can't Darren Sproles get on the field? It's a simple hamstring injury. He misses 10 games. Well, when Darren finally got back, he admitted to us, no, he was dealing with much more than just a simple hamstring. So I think the Eagles shoot themselves in the foot. And any high-level doctor across any NFL team, any major league sport, is going to be able to deal with a hamstring injury. It's not a medical issue. It's a messaging issue.
Talking with John McMullen.
Risky pick when they took him. They fell in love with the fact that he was high on the board and then dropped because of the injury.
Yeah, and then they put him on the shelf. It's
Yeah.
like what the Sixers did with Joel Embiid when he fell into their laps at number 3. They knew, again, I'm not comparing the two as far as making franchise-changing players, but Sidney Jones has not lived up to what we thought he would be. And I mentioned earlier.
Well,
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I think the better comparison would be Jalen Smith. So sometimes it works in Dallas. I mean, he was going to be a top 5 pick, had that catastrophic knee injury in the bowl game. The Cowboys took him in the second round, waited a year, worked out perfectly. He's a star linebacker in this league. Eagles tried to do the same thing with Sidney Jones. Hasn't worked out to this point. It's not over yet. Hopefully he can gain some of that confidence back. But, yeah, it's fair to start questioning where he is as a player. He's just not performed up to the level that he was expected to perform at.
But in his defense, he's still only 23, so he's not like he's 28 and he's now still trying to figure out how to play the game. He's still pretty young. And I'm not giving up on him. I'm not saying he's a bust. It was a bad pick.
Can we package him with somebody and can we
get
two
who?
number ones in Sydney and get Jalen? Is that
No,
can
they're
we
not.
do
You
any of
see it
that?
again. They're saying they're not going to trade Jalen Ramsey, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you're hearing? If you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, John McMullen, would you just sit on him too and not trade him?
Yeah, I wouldn't trade him. That's the best cornerback in football. And Chad Kahn, the owner down there, said he's not going to trade him.
Break soon, guys.
And that was always the situation where the player was trying to force himself out for different reasons. So it was going to start at 2 first-round picks. They got an offer of 2 first-round picks from the Kansas City Chiefs. They felt like they weren't going to be high enough, so they turned that down. The Eagles already offered a 1 and a 2. They turned that down. He doesn't want to trade him, and he's not going to trade him unless he's bowled over. And Shad Khan I'm talking about. And so you start talking about 2 first-round picks and more on top of that. You got to be very cautious when you get to that level, even though the heck of a player at an obvious need position for the Eagles. I think the Eagles are just kind of waiting and trying to get healthy. Trying to get Ronald Darby back and trying to get. But remember, it's not only Darby, Rousey, it's not only Avonte Maddox, Jalen Mills after week 6, Ravon LeBlanc after week 8. Those are the weeks that they could get back at practice and hopefully get back in the mix. So there's a lot of bodies coming back to help this situation.
Well, I will be on the pup list on Sunday after we do the Toll Man Joe show down there in South Philadelphia pregame, countdown to kickoff from 10 to noon. I will call myself inactive already and on the pup list come 1 o'clock. John, great job as always. We'll see you soon. Meanwhile, we're going to come back here because we got a lot more to sort out. We got fabulous prizes. We got the chairs coming up. Lots more. Stick around. Tony Bruno, Harry Mays has the night off. Coach Racich is here. Joe Krause, the whole gang, live at Screwballs in King of Prussia on 97.3 ESPN and live on Twitch TV. BrunoNation Live.
Hour number 1 of Thursday Night Football Countdown to Kickoff show is being fueled by Dunkin'. After the Eagles win, you win with Dunkin'.
Yeah, I don't think the Phillies are going to do anything.
I think they're going to wait till, you know why? The Mets, you see what the Mets did? The Mets waited till this morning, right, before the playoffs started. Because the baseball doesn't like having managerial moves to take the shine off the playoffs. But tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock, Friday news dump. I did this on my show. I said, 11 o'clock, you watch it. Middleton didn't fire Gabe because he didn't have to come out and say anything. But if he had fired Gabe earlier this week, then the fans would have said, why are you just following Gabe? Why not Clentak? So what I think he's been doing.
Well, Middleton loves Clentak, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he knows that the fan base doesn't. And he knows that if he fires the manager, the general manager is still a guy who hasn't really done what the fans need. You got to send a message to get fans to come back next year. You know, hey, we're putting up netting is not going to sell more season tickets.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I hate empty seats, and there are a lot of them in baseball right now.
Yeah, and so I think if they're going to do it, I think he's going to fire Clentak and Kapler tomorrow. That's what I think is going to happen.
Tony did put that. He had me mark the tape. It is on. It is recorded.
Again, that's not inside information. That's
No.
just my hunch. Because you got baseball tonight, and then tomorrow you got 4 games starting at 2 in the afternoon, all into the night. And I think on a Friday it becomes buried. You know what I mean? You won't have the Philly talk shows are not going to be talking.
It's so eerie to me that there's not a whisper coming out of the front office.
You know
down
why?
there. Nothing.
Remember,
Nothing.
Kapler's under contract, so he doesn't have to do anything. Jim Salisbury made a good point about it. He said, Kapler's going to work every day. He's sitting in his office. So for him, it's like what's he going to do? Say, I'm going to get fired. I'm not going to show up for work. He shows up for work. The onus is on the owner now. The owner's got to say, do I fire the manager? And is that going to appease the fan base? Or do I fire the guy who hired the manager, who's the analytics guy, who turned Kapler into a robot, you know, who doesn't believe in bunting or moving along runners or playing small ball or getting a base hit or moving the runners. Everything's written down. You know, players have little cards. Players have cards in their back pockets to see,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
That's not baseball. You have little leaguers don't have little notepads in their back pockets. Now big league pitchers and catchers have to look at a note to see what pitch to throw. It's ridiculous, man.
Hey, Tony, I hate to interrupt you
Yes.
During this fantastic talk, but are we coming back already?
No, this is a
Okay.
commercial.
I have not been able to get over to Angelo's.
Damn it, Robin.
I know.
I need my damn pizza.
I know that you wanted pizza, but would it be okay for today if you got the fried shrimp and fries instead?
No, I'll do fried shrimp.
Okay. So I will get you fried shrimp.
I need scrimps, as we call them, scrimps.
Scrimps. And
Scrimps.
don't forget to let people know, Tony, that if they want to listen to the entire show during the breaks, that they need to go on Twitch.
Yes. This thing's not staying on, Robin. It
John
keeps
Doherty,
freezing.
business manager.
Is this on?
Philly's biggest fan will be back with
You're
us on
alive.
Sunday, not tonight. He's back with us on Sunday, Tony.
Yes, he is.
Down at Tollman Joe's.
And by the way, Johnny Dodd
He's right on. He's spot
and
on.
Blair Thomas last week right here at Screwballs in King of Prussia. We were talking about the prediction for the Green Bay Eagles game last Thursday night. And I said that Blair Thomas like 31-28. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot of points. And then Johnny Dodd also had a high-scoring game with the Eagles winning. I picked the Eagles to win. Harry Mays picked the Eagles to win. There was only one
Here we
person.
go. I
Only
knew it was
one-
coming.
Not only
I
one
knew it.
person in this
I'm
establishment
talking
right
about
here.
the weeks I win. Just
The
for one
man
time.
right here who came to before you, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who coaches youths. He
Utes.
coaches youths.
Youths in the area.
He takes care of the kids. It's all about the kids.
It's all about the kids.
Just ask the mayor of Atlantic
Atlantic
City.
City. That's what Atlantic City He made a lot of money on the kids, didn't he?
$87,000, baby.
Is that cash? Was that $87,000 in cash in a box in his house?
Probably in the mattress. I mean, if
Yeah.
you got 87 large sitting in your house, where are you going to put it? You're going to put it in a cardboard box under the bed? No, man, it's Atlantic City.
Yeah.
You gotta hide it somewhere more.
The best part
creative
is the
than
mayor
that.
of Atlantic City pled guilty today to taking $87,000 from a basketball league that he put together for kids in Atlantic City. And so he pled guilty, which means, yeah, I don't want to go to trial. I'll cop a plea, and then I know I'm going to be sentenced in January. He can get up to 20 years in jail for this. And the best part, he doesn't have to resign. Could you imagine having a job where you just go into court and you tell the judge, yeah, I'm guilty. I took $87,000 from the kids. I'm going to give it back
for the youths,
but let me keep my job. Who would keep their job in the real world where you don't have political people?
He's got to be out.
Maybe he's innocent.
No.
No,
he pled guilty.
He pled guilty already.
Yeah, but I thought he pled guilty for wire.
Yeah, that's still a crime, I think, the last time I checked. Wire fraud is still a
wire
crime.
fraud.
Again, I'm not somebody who wants people to go to jail for if they're innocent. When you go into a courtroom and you say, Your Honor, I'm guilty as charged, just go easy on me. So now, he says he has remorse. He's going to give the money back. And so then in January, they'll determine how long he goes to jail. That's how systems work, right?
Does he go back? Is he going to work tomorrow?
I don't know. I mean, I'd take the weekend off if I were him, probably. Maybe I'd lay low for the weekend.
It'll blow over by Monday.
I wouldn't go
Everybody
into it.
will forget.
I heard, though, some wise guy earlier today called me and said, maybe he goes to, he's in Atlantic City. They got all the houses there, the books. Wonder what I think he's going to go in there and see what the line is on how many years. He's got 5 years to 10 years, the props on that. Everybody loves props bets, right? You go in there, what's the props? And the mayor of Atlantic City goes in and looks at the board and says, Mayor of Atlantic City, 5 to 10 years, plus 220, or minus 220. 10 years to 20 years, you got that prop bet. Again, I'm not making light of someone else's misfortune, but probably if I stole $87,000, I'd be in trouble too, and I wouldn't be happy about it. And so we'll see.
You want to go back to your job the next day.
The governor of New Jersey, Governor Murphy, has said that he should resign. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not calling for anybody's resignation, except Gabe Kapler if he wants to. But then again, that's just a sports fan talking here.
Tone.
Yes.
I don't believe anything is happening with Gabe Kapler. Nothing. Nothing.
Well,
at
they
all.
don't. Remember, he's under contract. We were just talking about this during the break, and people on the Twitch channel were listening to us. The Mets fired their manager, Mickey Callaway, today. So it's Thursday, and they wait till Thursday to make a decision. And baseball does not like when things happen around teams during the postseason. Like the postseason, don't make any big. It's like the NFL doesn't like stuff during Super Bowl week. They don't want coaches fired, coaches hired. Okay. It takes away from diversity. This is our week. It's Super Bowl week, and so baseball does. But Mickey Callaway, baseball playoffs started last night with the wild card the last couple of nights, and today we've got a couple of games tonight where it's 1-1 Braves and St. Louis Cardinals, and they're in the fifth inning in that series that started tonight. But the bottom line is, the only opening, if they're going to make moves, if Middleton's going to make moves, whether it's Klentak or Kapler, it's going to come tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Here's my prediction. Mark it down, mark the tape, and save it. 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Again, this is an inside information. I don't have sources. I don't have reliable sources, unreliable sources. This is just an educated guess. You have to fire Klentak if you're going to fire Kapler. Because if you just fire Kapler, then you tell the fan base, well, he was the fall guy for a guy who hired him, who was Matt Klentak. Klentak hired Gabe Kapler because they're both analytics guys.
Middleton loves Klentak.
Yeah, he loved him because he thought he would be the guy after
he still loves him.
How do you know? Would you love him if your season ticket sales and all the other stuff that's going to happen next year are in jeopardy? Would you help? Would you still love a guy? A lot of people love guys when they hire them.
It's not about
women.
love. It's about the dollars.
Exactly. So he knows the fan base is angry. He knows he saw, the Tampa Bay Rays and the Oakland A's with, small payrolls are in the postseason, and he went out there and spent crazy money or stupid money, whatever he called it. And he made some good signings, and obviously, the Harper signing was good. Guy played well. But the bottom line is fans want to see action. In this city, firing the manager, would there be people saying, yeah, he does, but then the people would say, well, what about Klentak? So to me, that's why he hasn't fired Gabe Kapler. He hasn't had to do it because Kapler's under contract and showing up for work every day and sitting in his office. So I think if he's going to make a move, my guess is he fires Klentak and Kapler. This way you bring in a new GM who then hires his own manager. And that's the way I see it. I could be wrong, but probably not, based on my knowledge of all this kind of stupid stuff that happens in sports. So remember where you heard it first.
11 a.m. tomorrow, this announcement's going to be
Because it
made.
makes sense, because the games start at 2 o'clock again tomorrow. So remember, we got daytime baseball. The first game's at 2, and then there's a game at 4:30, and then 7, and then 9:30. So there's 4 games all afternoon and then deep into the night on a Friday night in baseball.
How does it work? The season's the Phillies' last game ends. The season's over. Gabe goes in, sits with Clentech. They close the book on the season and they move on.
They may do that, but I'm not saying that guaranteed. I'm saying if they're going to do it, that's to me the only acceptable answer for the fan base.
If they were going to do it, boom, it would have happened the day the season ended or the next morning.
Then why did the Mets wait until Thursday? Did they not know they were going to fire Mickey Callaway after their last game on Sunday? So, and the only crazy one was the Angels firing their first-year manager, Brad Ausmus. And the reason they did that as soon as the season ended is because they knew Joe Madden was going to be gone in Chicago as the Cubs manager, and Joe Madden is going to be the next manager of the Anaheim, Los Angeles, Disneyland adjacent Angels. You can mark that down in ink because he spent 31 years in the Angels organization. They know that people would like it. But remember, in Anaheim, there's no pressure to win. As good as they have the best player in baseball, and if they don't make the World Series or the playoffs, do the people out there go crazy? No. They just enjoy the weather. They're in Southern California, and they say, it's baseball. We got football now. Whatever. We got the Lakers and the Clippers coming up. We don't care.
Do you think the players would be pro Gabe staying or pro Gabe going?
That's a good. The players publicly are going to say, we like Gabe. It's not his fault. And it's not all his fault. I mean, players got hurt. Andrew McCutchen getting hurt really destroyed their season. I mean, who knows what would have happened if Andrew McCutchen had stayed. He was the leadoff guy. They didn't have to change their lineup every day. He did a lot of things that people scratched their heads. But what he did was what baseball is about now. Analytics. The number says this. The book says this. The computer says this. And they got away from, I'm not saying analytics are worthless. I'm just saying over-analytics. And I think the Phillies are victims of everything's got to be done by the books. And that's not the way you play sports.
So do you think they're taking the human touch out of the game by just going on numbers?
I think they take the fact that nobody bunts anymore. The fact that Adam Hazley, the rookie, did not bunt when he was in minor leagues, and then he comes up to the big leagues, and you expect him to lay down a bunt in a crucial situation to move the runner, and he doesn't know how to bunt. How is that possible? How is that possible that guys don't bunt anymore in baseball? It's fundamental stuff. And that's what bothers me as an old guy who's yelling at clouds and yelling at people on their lawns.
Tony, really quick, a couple of people were asking, Gabe Kapler has 1 year left on a total of $2.7 million contract and $1 million left.
I know that. That doesn't matter when you fire managers. People fire managers that have 4 or 5 years left on their contracts. All I can say is,
Shame.
It has to be Game of Thrones. We have to name the chairs Thrones. Think about it. Sleep on it.
we got the chairs coming up. The Bruno Thrones coming up live here at Screwballs later on.
Decisions need to be made. Decisions need to be made.
Yes, they will.
From our 2 winners of the chair. We'll do that at the end of the broadcast. We'll not be broadcasting on 97.3 when we do that.
Exactly.
But we will do it right
But
here
you
at
must
Screwballs.
be present.
Must be present
to win. We're coming back. We're live here at Screwballs, the King of Pressure. Tony Bruno, Coach Racich, Joe Krause, or Kraus, depending on where you live. Miss Robin, Nick is here eating soup.
And the Thrones.
We're coming back live on
the chair winners are up. The chair winners are up here
We
already.
don't even have the chairs ready. Relax. Just relax. Go have another drink and have a White Claw and relax. We're coming.
A White Claw.
We're coming right back. Stick around.
I love it. That was wrong. That was wrong. Called you a White Claw man. Unbelievable.
Several people were asking on the Twitch channel.
I see them.
That's the only reason I was giving that information.
No, I know that. I know he has a year left on his contract. That's not the point. The guys who have 5 years left on the contract, and Brad Ausmus in Anaheim didn't sign a 1-year contract, so they had to buy him out, whatever they owe him.
Yeah, I mean, $1 million is nothing
I got a
nowadays.
couple bears here.
Oh, nice.
I got a couple bears.
Look at a wireless. You want to go talk to them?
Sneak them in.
Yeah.
I keep telling though, can I finally get a job where I am paid to go away?
Yeah, want to do that?
Yes, I want
that.
that. I want that job.
I know.
You want to do it now, coming out of the break?
Well, maybe.
Yeah, right.
Got to give a shout out to
Yeah.
G's Man 1
Nick,
from
where's the wireless?
Newcastle, Delaware. Hello.
Here, Henry.
It's 1-1 in the ball game now. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that Miles Mikolas is still in the game, facing Roy Acuna Jr. Bottom of the 5th in Atlanta, 1-1 tie in a pitcher's duel.
I like this. Play Action Reel says, have a White Claw and relax is Tony's new T-shirt.
Exactly. Are you drinking White Claw tonight? See, I thought you drank it. No, don't buy me one tonight. No, I thank you for last week. Now, how many different varieties do they have here at White Claw?
Here? But
Nick,
or do you
Nick,
mean
you're
in
going to have to get
normal?
an audio from Henry on the wireless.
She got me the black cherry last week.
Which is
Henry.
Oh, there's tons of different flavors.
No, I mean
think.
here. Not. I know that
Oh.
they make tons of different
You
ones.
hear him?
2, 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Over there.
Josh, we love the situation. I saw he got out of jail and he's healthy now. And you got at the situation, the guy from Jersey Shore, he's out of jail. And this guy on the pics just said, we love the situation.
Is this the same guy that was before the show?
Yeah, it's the same guy on every break.
We pick our spots very carefully at Sports Plus Network.
Can we hear Henry?
We're giving it for free. No strings attached. People.
I don't hear him.
I don't hear him in the headset.
No, I hear him
Nick.
now.
I hear him on the speaker. I don't hear him in the headset.
Is Henry on the headset?
I do not hear him in the headset.
I don't hear him on the headset, too.
I'm turning down the studio. So I mean,
Josh, can you hear Henry? No.
No.
No. Josh can't hear him either, Hen. Nick.
Did you see what S Falcon 39 said?
Henry, just talk in that mic for a minute. Don't stand in front of the
Mic
speaker.
check. Mic check. 1, 2. 1,
Okay.
2.
There we go.
Watch that speaker, Henry.
All right.
And so are you guys.
Check 1. Check 2.
Yeah, Tony, are you stupid?
You're listening to the Thursday Night Football Countdown to Kickoff show with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays, presented by Body Check Wellness.
Coach is out with some people.
Is it working?
Conchi Bears, yeah.
IBEW Local 98, John Doherty, business
Henry, can you hear?
I can hear you.
Okay. Henry, turn that mic flag around. There you go.
You guys are live.
A lot of smiling faces here tonight. Screwballs. People are eating, drinking. It's unusual in a sports bar to see that, but that's what we're doing here tonight. Any White Claw drinkers at the bar yet? Anybody having their first White Claw? I'm looking for a White Claw fan. Meanwhile, speaking of fans, we got some young folks in the stands tonight.
Coach always brings them out.
The coach brings them out. He brings all the kids to the yard. Damn right, they're better than yours.
And the
Let's go to
milkshakes.
Henry Races, ladies and gentlemen, who's got some special guests in the crowd tonight.
All right, thanks, Tone. I am standing next to a few of my undefeated Conshohocken Golden Bears 105 football players. Skipping practice.
Undefeated,
tonight.
all right, I'll take
Undefeated
that.
right here. So we're going to get to meet these players. This is our Stars of the Future segment. Tone, as you know, we had.
We love the
PHE
Stars. We're always looking for new talent.
Yeah, the Eagles, these guys might have to play corner next week for the Eagles.
Exactly.
So we're going to go around the horn here. I have two of my players that came out tonight, and we're going to meet them, and they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves. So we're going to start with this guy right here.
My name's Chris. Outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker, can you play corner?
Outside linebacker. He can play corner.
Yes.
Can you suit up for Sunday?
Yes.
Could you take Tony out in 3 seconds?
Yes.
Probably not. Come on, man. I got speed.
Yes.
You
All right.
realize what kind of moves I have?
Tony was a wide receiver back in his day.
Exactly right.
Or left out of the game plan.
I
I'm
would
not
play
sure.
left end and then left out. You're
All right.
exactly right.
So, Chris, the trick question for you tonight is, who is your favorite host up there at that table?
It's a good question.
Ah, he said the coach. Just get smart.
Of course he is.
I did threaten him with 100 push-ups.
You're
during
not
the
going to
commercial
bench
today.
the kid.
I'm
You-
definitely not going to bench him.
No.
All right, our next player here. Yeah, introduce yourself.
Ben McClellan's
And what position do you play, Ben?
wide receiver.
Wide receiver. Are your hands good to you like Freddie Mitchell's?
Yes, better.
Better. Yeah, you don't only make one play on 4th and 20. Have you had any 4th and 26 plays in your career so far?
No, I've got it past 2 once. Twice.
He had a 4th and 10. He pulled it in.
4th and 10,
Took
not
it for
4th
like
and 20.
17.
Now, do you go for it on 4th and 26 in your league, Coach?
Actually, we do because we don't punt.
Oh, okay.
Punt's not in our vocabulary.
You don't
Country
punt?
Bears 105. No. We score touchdowns That's it.
That's it?
Or the whistle blows for the quarter's done. We
You don't
punt.
hit dingers?
My team doesn't punt.
You like
We
those
don't
kids
punt.
that say, I just hit dingers?
No,
Remember that kid?
Yeah,
I
I
hit
remember that kid.
dingers.
I hit dingers. So here's Ben's trick question. Ben, who is your favorite coach of all time?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a
Tony,
fix.
come
This is
on,
a
man.
Rick
How
job,
hot
man.
are we tonight?
Just to fix his edge. As they said on Game of Thrones.
Shame.
Shame.
All right, you two give me a Bears on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Shame.
Bears.
That's for you, Tone.
Shame.
The Golden Bears, too.
Conshohocken, Golden Bears.
Why are they gold? Why is it, both Bears aren't all golden?
I don't know why.
Silence is golden.
Organization is 100 years old this year.
Bears are brown in Pennsylvania. There's
Maybe
no
back
golden.
then they were gold.
But there's no golden bears in Pennsylvania. Am I right? I'm looking for actual factual information on the show.
I'm going to Google it. We
Google
need
it.
to Google it up.
There's only brown bears, right? They always go through people's trash cans and they come out into the streets and into the woods. Golden Bears, coach. Did you come up with that name?
It's 100 years old. You were around then.
No, I
I'm a
wasn't
young
around then. How do you have that? I get the California Golden Seals. The hockey team back in the day, in the old days of the NHL. Remember the California Golden Seals were the NHL team out there in Oakland, in the Bay Area. That makes sense. There's Golden Seals. There's no Golden Bears. Now, Goldilocks, she had 3 bears, but she had blonde hair.
And they were brown bears.
And they were brown bears.
I'm Googling it as we speak.
Google it right now.
I need the answer.
Tired of having all these kinds of factual inaccuracies on this show. We don't allow that here.
By the way, I am furious right now as I sit here.
What's the matter?
What happened?
I'm furious.
About what?
We did not, Tony, make the Toll Man Joe's newsletter.
Are you kidding
for
me?
the month of October.
Are you serious right now?
I don't understand it. I got to get Tom on the horn. I can't understand.
I hate to do them. I got to give him one of these.
Why aren't we there? I don't understand
it. It's an outrage.
Anyway, we'll be there on Sunday.
Somebody's going to have hell to pay for that.
Yes, they will. I don't understand why we're not in the newsletter.
It is an outrage. I think President Obama once spoke about it. He said,
30 seconds.
It is an outrage. We'll take care of that during the break. But we're live here at Screwballs in Conshohocken. Tony Bruno, the man.
20 seconds.
Coach Racich is here once again, abusing young children to say the things that he wants them to say. Joe Krause, the whole gang.
Leadership.
We're live at Screwballs and King of Prussia. We're coming back. Another hour still ahead. And the Philly Godfather will make a special appearance, too.
3,
Stick around.
2,
One more hour to go, yo.
How about this Golden Bear? Jack Nicholas. I didn't know he was. I didn't know
Jack
his nickname
Nicholas was the
Golden
Golden Bear. You didn't know that? Are you serious, man?
I did not know
It's
that
not a
either.
Jack
Why?
Nicholas, you know why he was the Golden Bear? Because he
No.
had blonde hair.
Yeah, but why would he be called the Golden
He
Bear?
was a
Why
bear.
not?
He was a big, strong man.
The origin of the word Golden Bear, and I'm getting a winery and Jack Nicholson.
I actually would not have thought of him as a big, strong man either.
Robin, Jack Nicholas has always been the Golden Bear.
Okay. Well, was he from California?
No, he's like from Ohio.
Oh. See, that would have made sense too, because the California, the Golden Bear is the California state animal.
Here's a good question from AJ in San Antonio on the Twitch stream. If the Bruno family was in Game of Thrones, what would be the symbol on the family single flag?
Oh, that is great. The White Claw.
No, I don't do a White Claw.
No, that's a
Robin,
great.
that's really loud.
You
Can you
have,
turn
you
it
have
down
to
a little
watch
bit,
that.
please?
That is the best series ever, Tony.
Two chicks at the
I
same
love it.
time. That would be the. That would be it.
Yeah, that's what it would be. That's what it would be. See, now, Jack Nicholas, if he were to come up today in golf, he couldn't be called the Golden Bear because that would be, as AJ points out, toxic masculinity.
Yes.
If you call yourself a Golden
Really?
Bear right now, yeah, toxic masculinity.
No, I think so. So the Bruno
Crest?
Nation crest.
I think my crest when I was growing up was Wildwood Crest. That was my crest back in the day.
That's an interesting question. So the person that asked that is definitely a Game of Thrones fan.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of
Tony
Game of
has
Thrones.
never seen it, but it's incredible.
But I
to show.
did.
You
No,
did.
Oh.
I
told you.
love it.
Oh my
I
God.
love that
I
thing.
loved the show all the way up until the last episode.
You know
I
what?
was so mad at that
I
last
thought they rushed it.
They rushed it, and they totally got it wrong.
They even admitted it. The writer said at the end, it was like, let's get this shit over
They
with.
totally
didn't
got it wrong.
Right.
That last episode, Daenerys, she never would have done that. The entire show, she's all about saving people, and then she kills everybody at the end? That makes no sense.
Robin, here it is, people. Even Dean said, my wife just said, come on, damn it, Robin. I know who the Golden Bear is.
Yeah, whatever.
That's ridiculous, Robin. It's ridiculous.
Jack Nicklaus was before my time. Remember, I'm a young'un.
Before your time.
So,
for example, you know the Australian golfer
Uh-huh.
with the blonde hair?
Right.
What's his name, Robin?
Is he the one with the Dutch name?
No. He's the guy who has his own gear. And because Jack Nicklaus gear had golden bears on them, on the logo.
Yes. See, it's still...
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Bernhard Langer?
No. The other guy, the shark. The shark. Who's the shark?
Yeah, the shark. The shark is it Jared Lyle?
No, he's another old school guy, Robin.
Hold on.
Who? No, Jack Nicklaus is the golden bear.
Greg Norman.
Greg Norman is the shark. Everything that Greg Norman has a shark on it. His shirts, his hats, his shoes, his underwear.
How come Tiger doesn't do that?
But see, that makes
Tiger
sense.
does. Tiger has
because
everything.
Tiger, is it? I mean,
Greg-
the actual symbol?
The whole thing makes sense with Greg Norman because he's from Australia. There's a lot of sharks right there off of the trench. That makes sense. The Bears, if Nicholas was from California with the Golden Bears, that would have made sense.
Robin, once again today,
I'm trying to find reason, Tony.
there is no reason.
Well,
He's
then
the damn
that's
golden bear,
Does
whether
a
you like it
golden
or
bear
not.
animal actually exist?
Yes, it's the California state animal.
Okay.
Yes, we just had that.
See,
So
if he
we
was from
we stole
California,
their
it would have
logo.
totally made it would have made
it
sense.
was the original California state animal before Kim Kardashian took over. Is this my beer here?
I'm looking up why
I
he
am
called
so
it.
I am so furious about not being in the Tolman Joe's newsletter. I don't
It's
understand
an outrage.
You know what? We
Almost.
Should,
It's
we're
fake
not,
news.
We're not up on the sign
On
here
the marquee outside.
I know. Come on, Henry. What the?
What?
We're not on the marquee sign outside.
We're in here?
Yeah, outside.
I didn't even know
at
there was
the
a
sign.
marquee here.
Oh, here we go.
I didn't even.
Henry Racich, presented by
All right,
Body
folks, let's
Check
focus.
Wellness,
Not
powered
right
by
before men.
Davios, and fueled by the IBEW Local 98. Now, the countdown to kickoff.
Let's play some damn football.
With Tony Bruno and Harry Mays.
Yes, indeed. And while we were in break, we were live on our Twitch channel, so you can continue to listen in and comment while we're on, even during the break. We don't take any breaks here. We keep the show going. So it's like that show between the show. So when we go to a break on 97.3 FM, you can still log on, download Twitch, then go to BrunoNation Live, and you can watch and listen to the show every single day, no matter whether we're on during the day, whether we're out doing these countdown to kickoff shows. We're live at Screwballs Thursday night. Did you order me food, Robin, by the way? What'd you get me?
Yes,
now?
I did. I got
Some
you
scrimps?
I got you the scrimps. Scrimps and fries.
Oh, man, that's part of a nutritious breakfast.
Bubba gum?
Bubba gum shrimp. What kind of shrimp? Fried shrimp? Boiled
Fried shrimp.
Coconut shrimp? Shrimp scampi? Shrimp etouffee? You remember all the shrimps in the Bubba gum shrimp in the
I
movie?
did not remember etouffee. That was the one I think threw me off a little bit.
It's all Greek
I was
to
really
me, man.
impressed.
Hey, am I not impressing you every single
You
week?
absolutely do.
I mean, people
Your
just think
Bruno-isms are incredible.
People think I'm just a pretty voice on the radio, man.
It should be a
I'm
book.
not.
Someone should be
It will be a book.
documenting this.
It won't even be a book. It'll be a DVD. When I write a book about my life, I will write a book, and then I'll include a DVD with it for people who don't want to read. You know, I don't read that book.
Audible.
Let's just slide in the DVD and see what's going on.
Right.
Of course, we're having fun here. We talked some Eagles last hour with John McMullen, getting ready for the Jets on Sunday. We've had people from this very establishment, Joe Krause, who have won tickets to go see said Jets game on Sunday.
We'll have people in the house down at the link on Sunday, but Tone, don't forget, on Monday we qualified 2 people to go. We're going to send down to Dallas.
That's right.
For the game on October 20th. So,
correct.
We qualified 2 on Monday over at the Landmark. We'll qualify another 2 on Monday, and then the following Monday over there is when we'll select our winner. And remember Amanda from the Great American Pub who won the
Absolutely.
Ultimate
How
Eagles?
can I forget her?
She just notified me by email that her parents are not going to be able to make the trip to
Dallas. No,
they can't do it. So she has no need for the ticket. So I'm going to take their package and add that into our package.
She can't sell them for immense profits.
Not going to allow her to do it. Instead, we're going to add to the package, and we're going to now have two lucky winners that are going to go down to Dallas.
Oh,
so
man.
That's pretty good stuff.
That's incredible stuff.
That's the 20th. The hotel accommodations, everything all booked, everything set, all ready to go. That's the 20th of this month.
Wow.
Again, Tone, must be present to win when we select the winning tickets.
And then at the end of this hour, when this show comes to an end, the White Claws will be flowing, football will be going, and then we will have the Bruno chairs placed right in front of the marquees.
We'll bring our chairs. We'll bring the chairs right back up, and they will have to make
Thrones.
What is it, Henry?
Thrones. I'm going to make you say thrones. They chairs because they're Bruno's thrones.
Aren't we over Game of Thrones yet already?
I mean,
the show it
how did
jumped
that
the
even
shark.
come up? I don't even know how that came up. How did that get?
Because I keep
call?
playing this.
He keeps
the
playing all the Game
shame
of Thrones
thing.
things, but he didn't see the show.
I told you I watched the last episode, and I was equally disappointed with the people who spent 5 years of their lives watching it. So I had.
It's like watching the last MASH. You can't get the content of all of MASH from the last.
Now, by the way, I hate
MASH.
to do this, but I didn't have any food before the show like Coach did.
Yeah.
So I just got the fried shrimp. Let me take just one bite,
Look at them.
like they do on the Food Network.
We'll carry it.
You know, when Guy Fieri goes into the diners, drive-ins, and dives, does he not eat when he's on there? Does he not take a bite?
Man's got to eat.
Let's just have one bite of the fried. Oh, this golden brown. Now that's not
That's
the
a
golden
golden
bear.
shrimp.
This is golden brown shrimp right here, Robin. Who didn't know who the golden bear was? God.
I had to Google it. I'm not going to lie, Robin. It's a little before my time.
Before your time, he's still the golden
Our
bear.
time. But you don't hear about him anymore.
By the way, I
know
have,
Arnold Palmer from
I
his
have the
drink
Golden Bear origin, if you would like to know.
I would love.
We have a golden bear update?
I
Got
do.
two in the house.
All right, let's get to it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is breaking news on the golden bear.
Because I had to figure out, because he's not from California, as you say, so it didn't make sense to me.
Isn't he from Ohio?
He's originally from Louisville. And
That's close, Kentucky.
So his wife, Barbara, explained how the nickname came about. He signed his first contract with a shirt company in the fall of 1961, which was right when he turned pro. And he was always looking for a logo. He made a trip to Australia, got off the plane, and there was, this is quoting from her, how they used to have newspapers stacked in the airport. The headline said, "Golden Bear from U.S. to arrive today." And she said, they both looked at each other and said, "That's it, Golden Bear." The high school he went to
Were they referring to him?
They were referring. So Australia was the one that gave him the moniker,
Oh,
but because
I did not know
yes,
that.
and the high school he went to was the Upper Arlington Golden Bears, and so when they saw that headline, they said, "Oh my God, it's perfect! I've been a Golden Bear all my life. I might as well continue to be a Golden Bear," and that's how come he got the Golden Bear
That's
moniker.
me. I've been a Golden Bear all my life.
And
I
now
played
your
football there and I coached
team
there.
and your team is the Golden Bears.
That's right.
Even though there are no Golden Bears in Pennsylvania, and that's the rest of the story.
There's a bunch in Conchie, though.
Yes, they are, and they're undefeated.
And we're undefeated. And we're
When do
gonna
they play now?
We play Saturday at 1 against Wissahickon, right next to D'Alessandro's Steak Shop. For a
I
point
know
of
exactly
reference.
where that is.
You know where that is?
Right
Yeah.
up on Henry Avenue.
Yes, sir.
And that's where they named after you, Henry
Yes,
Avenue,
sir.
ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe,
He's such
perhaps.
a great coach, and he's so iconic up here in this Montgomery County area.
They should have named it 5-8 Boulevard. That would have been more fitting. 5-8 with work boots.
I was wondering where they got the name Henry Avenue from.
It's
from Coach Henry Racich.
It has to be, or Henry Ford, or somebody really relevant in life. But yes, we play our fourth game next to D'Alessandro, so that's the post-game meal.
You go over there.
It's literally right across the
Do
street.
they still have the Stella Artois and the cheesesteak deal?
Yes,
Oh, that's
yes,
phenomenal, man. I
yes.
love that
Yes, they
place.
do. Yes,
Love
they
that. You go in there, you get a Stella, you get a nice chicken cheesesteak. Life is good, man. It doesn't get any better than that, does it?
Especially after win 4.
Exactly. Now, Philly Godfather will be joining us. He'll be making a special appearance tonight in this hour.
And Tone, one other special guest going to jump on with us in coming up either before the break or
Jack Nicklaus?
Right when we get out of the break.
Bear himself.
Down to Carolina we go for T for Temple. Colin Thompson will check in before the broadcast. He's getting ready to do his Temple plays East Carolina.
That's right, Temple ECU,
Pirates tonight.
baby,
So we'll get Colin Thompson in right before they do kickoff down there.
That's beautiful, man. Temple's a huge favorite, too, in this game on the road.
Should be. They should be.
But they were a huge favorite in Buffalo a couple of weeks, too. Remember that? It's an outrage.
Yeah.
So Colin Thompson and, of course, Philly Godfather, who has late information on this game. As I mentioned, I've already made my pick. Should I tell you what the pick is? I mean, I told people
It's
to go
out there
read it.
already, right?
It's already out. It's in the public sphere. It's in the, what do we call it up there?
Atmosphere.
The stratosphere, the atmosphere,
yes.
the
Brunosphere.
internet,
It's in the
the ethernet,
Brunosphere now.
the ether, somebody's sniffing ether, listening to the show, wondering what's going on.
Tide Pods.
You know what the game is tonight, right? Seattle and the Rams. Who do you like, Coach?
I like Seattle.
I knew you would. You know why?
Because they're at home, and that's a very tough stadium to they have that 12th man thing going on. And I'm a big Russell Wilson fan. Short quarterback, very mobile.
No, I love Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I love that guy.
So I'm not a Ram fan.
I'm not either. I'm not a big fan. They're
But
like
I'm not a
Hollywood.
Ram.
They're like glamour-y.
I'm not a Seattle fan or a Rams fan. So I have, again, this is not, hey, I follow. It's like you're a Steelers apologist.
Apologist. I'm sorry?
What's that?
Do we have? I heard Josh. Josh, what did you say?
Thompson's on hold.
Oh, he's on hold. Okay, I didn't know he was here now. I'm glad you said that. All right, let's go to a man who is down there in East Carolina. And people, do you know where East Carolina actually is?
You.
It's in East Carolina.
East of West Carolina.
Yeah, let's go down to East Carolina,
Right.
where tonight the Temple University Football Owls playing Thursday night football to go along with Thursday night baseball and Thursday night NFL, and the man who will be on the sidelines, bringing you the thrill, the color, the pageantry, the electricity that is uniquely Temple Owl football, our good friend, free agent Colin Thompson. Colin, what's the mood like down there tonight?
Well, as Harry knows, this is one of the great atmospheres in college football. You can't beat it. It's buzzing around. It really is. The players from Temple are fired up. They had a huge win last week against Georgia Tech, and DCU's fired up. This is a blackout game for them. They're in the black jerseys. It's supposedly going to be some sort of sold-out stadium. So it's a great atmosphere, a pure Southern charm type town with great food, great hospitality, and a brand new press box. It's a beautiful stadium and a great night for some college football.
Now, let me do what I do with John McMullen every Sunday. What is the media spread and the spread in the press box tonight? Because people want to know about that. It's important.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's fried chicken, mac and cheese, banana pudding, green bean casserole, just pure Southern, stick to your ribs type food. I'm ready to pass out.
You got any pecan pie down there? What else you got down there?
We got sweet tea. You got a little bit of everything.
Sweet tea. You got to have sweet tea.
I'm ready. I need a pillow on the sideline. Me and Matt Hasselback and Molly McGrath are going to be, taking a nap at halftime with Pat McAfee. We got all those characters down here, too, so it's been fun.
Oh, you got Pat McAfee's in the house?
We got McAfee and Hasselback and all them. They're doing the ESPN show. So, and actually McAfee is doing cut-ups with the Temple video guys, and he just gave away $10,000 to the charity of their choice if they punted over $30,000. So he's a super nice guy, and they did a little something pregame. You can follow what they do on Twitter. It's pretty cool.
Well, he's my boy. You holler at Pat McAfee for me when you see him tonight.
I will. I'll pop in and tell him you said hello.
No.